story of Self-Destruct. I don't know. I always decided that I was gonna do a movie that was different from my other videos, you know? Like the last movie we finished was The Cost of Love. And that was back in 06, but we didn't have a final cut until like 2007. And you know, from there, you know, we were doing one project after another and another project after another, but not having an official, another finished movie because I couldn't figure out what story to go into next. And so I was just doing a lot of research, writing a whole bunch of storylines, trying to figure out what story to come up with next. And you know, Self-Destruct comes from a lot of different other stories that I came up with that I didn't know what to go with until I just realized how about just mash them all together. So I said, alright, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna mix all the stories that I got in my head and put them all together as one. And the first way that came up, you know, first time I got the idea of a story about somebody who was famous in their area and coming back was when I heard that a mixtape from 50 Cent. He did Return of the Body Snatchers. And my brother James McGee, he the one who played it for me. And I'm listening to it and it sounded like a movie soundtrack to me. I was like every song sounded like a scene, like, you know, of a guy coming back to the area trying to build up his empire. So I was like, alright, it might sound like a good idea, but you know, didn't really want to go into it. So I just wrote it and then, you know, left it on for a while. So from there, I was thinking about doing a movie called Hollywood, which was based on a true story about, you know, growing up in Hollywood, trying to come up in the film business from an area like where I grew up in. So it was going to start off where I was, you know, doing this when I was 12 years old till where I am now. And, you know, I was trying to write the script, but I couldn't exactly write it without, you know, because I had to change a couple of things so nobody, you know, it wouldn't have nobody's real name, and you know, I didn't want to get anybody's personal business in there. So draft after draft, I couldn't come up with the idea of how I was able to tell the story with the people who was in my life and what was going on. And I was like, maybe this is not the time to tell this story now, and now I get back to it later. So, you know, once again, put the script away, try to come up with another one. And then, you know, I'm going through my ideas, and I went through a story that I wrote called The Murder of Carlemile, where it was about two, you know, it was two of me, like, you know, there was me and there was another one of me. One was Carlemile and it was Mr. Hollywood. And then it was called Me, Myself, and Mr. Hollywood. And then, you know, the story was okay. And just the way it was supposed to end was that the whole time there was only one of me the whole time, and it was only me that had it. It was my fault for a downfall, and then I was like, it was my fault for self-destruct, and you know, I self-destruct myself, because that's why it's called self-destruct. Then I was like, hold on, I like that title, self-destruct. So I was like, alright, let me keep that name and keep the whole downfall thing, but remember how I'm gonna do that story. So I kept that little inch and whatnot, and kept that, and it's like, alright, try to get to another story. Then I was doing another story. I was gonna call it Clash of the Titans, and in it was about a guy who was famous for YouTube, and he was like, he made a lot of videos. Everybody knew who he was, but he wasn't like famous, but because of YouTube he was. And then there comes this other guy, we'll call him the Gab, and he was making videos too. And now that was, you know, his competition. So you know, the Clash of the Titans, you know, they had to butt heads together. So I was like, alright. But then, I don't know, story once again was like, you know. Then, you know, I guess one day I was just like, dang, what I'm gonna do with all these stories, because I have at least over 100 something different storylines. And then I was playing 50 Cent's Bulletproof, the video game, and I was like, hey, this is a fun storyline right here. Well, how about just turn this game into a movie? Instead of be on 50, just put it, you know, on me. So I was like, alright, let's do that. So I was writing the script, and I had the poster up saying, hey, Bulletproof is coming out soon. Then I realized, well, what about, you know, instead of taking 50's idea, and how about I just take my own idea, mix all those together, and put it as one film. And then that's how I ended up with the storyline for Self-Destruct. And that's how Self-Destruct came to be. I thought it would be a great idea. So all those movies that I was filming in 2007 that went nowhere, I could finally put them in a movie and make it seem like those movies were complete and have those movies there. So I thought that would be a great idea. But you know, there has to be a storyline to go on. So I said, alright, let's do a story where it is a rise to fame story, but also a revenge story at the same time. So the, you know, two-side story. Like, think of it as Carlito's Way meets Scarface with a Kill Bill attitude, you know? So the way it starts out is my character it starts with the future, where he is the you know, he's such famous, everybody's seen his movies, everybody knows who he is, and he's getting ready to go off from Hollywood to Hollywood, and then, you know, he is shot, you know, and then, you know, from there it's supposed to go to a flashback of how he started off, you know, where he is now, and then it goes back into the present where he's found out, you know, that somebody wants his head on a plate. So it goes back and forth. That, you know, while the movie tells how he got there, it shows where he is now, trying to figure out who tried to kill him. And then at the end, it all comes together. You know, how he got there and who's trying to kill him, and then, you know, at the end, right about, I'm not gonna spoil it just yet because that's something you guys have to wait for the movie to come out. And that's how Bulletproof came to be. Self-destruct.